Oh, okay.
He'll be our mascot.
He is our mascot by default.
Mm-hmm. You've heard of devil dogs? He's the diesel dog.
The diesel dog. He's the diesel dog. Look at this boy.
So anyways, welcome to Tar Talk.
Yo.
So.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week.
Been busy.
Yes. I spent my whole day working on irrigation.
Huzzah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Sounds like a blast.
Oh yeah, it is.
Blast of water.
That happened a couple times. Yeah, I did. Stood over it because I'm running the sprinkler so that way I can calibrate its rotation so it doesn't just spin around and soak everything.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it shut off on me, and then I'm like standing right over it. And
It's like, huh.
Yeah, and it was cold too. It's always fun.
Builds character.
Yeah, that's what they say.
All the character.
Yeah.
All of it. How much character is it building? Every bit of it.
Yep, all of it.
So yeah,
If that happened in the summer, though, that would have felt so good.
I know, right? Which is exactly why it will never happen in the summer.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have good feelings in summer or in winter.
Yeah. So basically, I'm just not allowed to have good feelings in general.
Correct. It's like, correct!
But he's not depressed.
No. Depression is a false god. It's good though. Making that monies.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Something like that, sort of.
Something like that.
I make that money so my bill collectors can make that money.
That's right.
That's pretty much it.
That's basically all it is. So I don't get thrown in jail.
Yeah. Or just lose power.
Right. So I can have the lights on.
Yeah. Ain't that right, Diesel?
He's like, what?
He's like, I'm a dog. I don't got to worry about that.
It's like...
He's like, I got to worry about this guy can do it. That's it.
Right. He's like, and he doesn't even worry about that.
Yep. My parents got a dog. Well, they got 3 dogs, but one of the dogs, like, every time she lays down, she's always like, I'm like, you're groaning like you work for a living. Like as if that isn't what you've been doing the whole day.
Right.
And then she'll, like, lay there, she'll be like, I'm like...
Just grumble and...
Right.
Sometimes he does that.
That dog's gotten fat, too.
After long days of barking at the neighbor's dogs.
Yeah. Their dog has gotten fat, too.
Oh, yeah?
She's a flatback. She used to be, like, this very, like, nimble, lean thing. Because she run around back and forth in the backyard all day. And then, yeah, one day she got a hold of my mom's smoked pork tenderloin. Ate, like, the whole thing, or half of it at least. And then, yeah, after that, this has been food all day. She's been trying to get more food.
It's like, this is wonderful. Is this what I've been missing?
Yeah. She's getting old,
more.
too. She's, like, 8 or 9 now. So.
Oh, wow.
And she's a big dog. So.
He's 8. He's 8 now.
Yeah. Well, he's also a smaller dog.
Yeah.
So small dogs, they tend to age better than bigger dogs. She sits up to almost my hip when I stand up. So yeah, she's a bigger dog.
Yep.
So.
Good old dogs. I love dogs.
I love dogs too. I just can't have them right now because they're kind of a hassle for apartment living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, we tried to bring my dog, so one of my parents' dogs is actually my dog, but we brought her over to our old apartment, and then she was always, like, a very anxious dog, and I think what helped her a lot is the fact that when me and my entire family would leave, there was other 2 dogs that she loved there to keep her company and give her comfort. She didn't have that at our apartment, so I remember one time we left to go to the pool in the middle of July, and we lived on the 3rd floor at the time, and we got all the way down to the parking lot, and we could still hear her from the apartment screaming.
Yep.
And we had her for about 48 hours, and she ate 2 pieces of kibble and then barked them up 20 minutes later.
Wow.
She wouldn't eat it all.
She was not having it, huh?
Nope, she was a nervous Nancy the whole time. And so I called my mom. I was like, "Hey, we should probably bring her back," and because she's just not taken well here. So we brought her back, and guess the first thing she did, she went and gobbled down a whole bowl of food. she just like, hum, 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 hum. I was like, "Yeah, okay." As if I needed a sign that you needed to stay here. That was it.
Yep. That's kind of funny though.
And funny enough, she's a pit bull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but she don't fit any stereotype of pit bulls. I mean, first of all, I think the pit bull stereotype is just wrong because most pit bulls aren't even. In fact, I would say almost all pit bulls are not like that at all. But yeah, like if a home intruder breaks into our house, like their greatest problem with her is that she'd probably try to lick them to death and try to snuggle them. She'd be like, "Friend."
It's like I had a American Pit Bull Mastiff mix, and she was one of those dogs that if you're okay with the person, she'll love that person to death.
Right.
She'll love the family to death, but anyone tries to come in without permission,
Right.
they're dead.
Yeah.
She is going to do everything in her power to tear them apart.
Yeah, I guarantee you that was the Mastiff. Pitbull's got a lot of jaw strength, but that Mastiff, because Mastiffs were, at least most of them, were meant for livestock animals.
Yeah.
Like guarding them and protecting them, so I guarantee you
Yeah,
that
so
was the
the
Mastiff in her, that was what made her
yeah,
like...
well, her very specific type of breed, like her breeding, was actually an ancient version of war dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, she was literally bred to fight war,
yeah,
but also be very loyal to her side.
right.
So that was kind of what she was there for.
That made me think of you. You remember? Did you ever hear about what the Russians tried to do with dogs? In I want to say it was World War II. They tried to train dogs to run under.
Oh yeah,
German
yeah,
tanks.
I did, I know that. Yeah.
It's like
holding the keeping the basically running explosives under there and blowing up the tank.
yeah, and killing the dog in the process.
Well,
obviously,
yeah.
But yeah,
Basically suicide bomb the
yeah. The only problem was they only trained them with like tanks that were parked in their fields, and that was it. So when the dogs would run to the tank and the tank would fire, it would scare the crap out of them. So the dog ran back to its handler, and then it blew up the handler and a few other people. And then the Russians were like, "Yeah, we're gonna nix that one."
Say, oops.
Yeah, it's like we didn't quite think about that one.
We're gonna need another Timmy.
Yeah. He's like, we're gonna need another dog, another handler, another squad probably. It's like another lots of things.
Yeah.
I told that story to my wife, and she's like, "Well, they got what they deserved." I'm like,
The Russians are weird, man.
Yeah.
The Russians didn't care, especially back like after the war. After the war, when they started doing, allegedly, started trying to do experiments of trying to merge like apes with humans to try to make a super soldier.
right.
It's like they were doing all kinds of crazy experiments.
And what's funny, I read that. Remember that book I told you I read? It was the Third Reich.
Yeah.
It's just the history of Nazi Germany, not to be confused with the rise and fall of the Third Reich.
Yeah.
But that one talked about Germany in the wartime, and it's like, it's funny to see how Russia's style of military fighting hasn't really changed that much.
No.
Because they have such a vast army, so their whole thing is to just keep throwing soldiers at it.
Right.
And, it's like, basically, if you have 30 rounds in your mag, they'll send 40 people.
Right.
So that way, even if it's one shot, one kill, like, you still got to contend with others. And one German soldier on the front line fighting the Soviets basically wrote that thing. He's like, he actually wrote, there's no skill or tactic behind what they're doing. They just keep coming. It's like, that was the whole point. It's like, they just overwhelmed you with numbers, and that was it. Which is probably why they've been at war with Ukraine for like 4 years now.
Although they, at the time, there was a time, they did do maneuvers.
Excuse me.
It was just also in mass.
Yeah.
So any maneuver, they don't, it's unlike the movies. They didn't just in mass run toward a machine gun nest.
Well, yeah.
What they would do is they would still try to flank it, but it would just be a lot of people trying to flank you.
Yeah.
Trying to get you. So.
And also a lot of casualties, too.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Soviets suffered the most casualties.
Oh, yeah, because, one, that side, the Eastern Front, was scorched earth tactics, so everything was getting killed.
Yeah.
So they were just, and of course they had, they would siege a lot of their like Stalingrad and all that kind of stuff, they would just siege the whole area and just let people die in there, and they'd be eating each other and stuff like that. So it's like there's a very different war on that side on that front.
The other, yeah, which I guess that kind of brings up a conspiracy theory that I hear a lot.
Oh yeah.
Is because you heard the whole thing about how Hitler lived in Argentina up until recently. Yeah, the whole thing is, how come we never found Hitler's body if he supposedly committed suicide? I'm like, I always have to ask that question. I'm like, well, when you say we, do you mean the Allies, or do you mean the U.S.? Because if it's the U.S., we didn't take Berlin. The Soviets took Berlin.
Right.
So the reason we never found the body is because we weren't there to find the body. The Soviets were there to find the body. And it's like, how come they didn't find a body? It's like, well, they found his grave, and they found a skull in that grave. And then the whole thing was like, well, but that skull is from a female and not a male. It's like, yeah, because Hitler had a mistress, and he married her the day before he committed suicide. Mm-hmm. She took a cyanide pill, and he shot himself in the head. And I think they actually did find a skull that had a single shot to the right temple. Right. But yeah, the ones that they have in archive that one was also female. So they found both. But the reason they found just the skulls and that's it is because Hitler ordered his men to throw him and his now wife, Ava Hitler, into the grave and burn it. Right. Because he didn't want his body to be found. And they threw timber, and they threw gasoline all over the timber. And then they threw the bodies in and lit it up, and then they would come back every few hours to throw more gasoline on it. Right. So it's like...
And the thing about... And I guarantee you, one of the reasons he did that was because he probably had an inkling that the Soviets were going to come and take Berlin. Mm-hmm. And...
So they actually kind of watched it happen? Because I kept getting reports from the front line on the Eastern Front. So
yeah, like, I remember a documentary, and a guy, one of the German survivors of Berlin, mm-hmm. of the Battle of Berlin. He was like, yeah, when we saw the tanks coming in, for a moment we thought that they looked like Shermans, and we were like, oh, thank God. And then they got closer, and they turned out to be the what was it,
the Tiger?
No, the T. Oh my word, that's gonna kill me. Anyway, the Russian tank that obviously not the T-72. That's the new one. The oh my word, I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway, the World War II Russian tank.
Yes.
Oh man, it's killing me. Anyway,
your phone's right there.
I know. I don't want to get up.
Okay.
Because I'm lazy like that right now. I will look through all my World War II books to see.
He's gonna pull one out. He's gonna flip all the third. No, it's not that one.
Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one.
It's not a true Tar Talk if Devin doesn't.
Oh, actually, I bet you it's in here.
It's not a true Tar Talk if Devin doesn't stop to look at the books or games on his shelf.
Actually, I bet you it's in this one. Oh look, MLRS.
Yep. Hey, you did that.
It is. I'm just gonna look at the T-34.
T-34. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, he found.
You looked it up the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
And so you couldn't use the internet to study. You had to go to the library to study.
Yes, actually, this book I've had since the '90s. Oh. It's actually from my early teens. Mm-hmm. When I had that book. That was one of the first military books I ever had. Mm. Now these books, the encyclopedia, mm-hmm. these used to be my dad's, and I was looking through way before I got my own books. Mm-hmm. So I used to look through these all the time. I would just be like, hey, can I look at your World War II encyclopedia? Because there's a lot of pictures in here, mm-hmm. and they're cool pictures. Yeah. So I would just be like, yes, and just start looking through, and it literally goes through the entire war. Right. So that was my first experience with World War II. Anyway, and of course, documentaries. Yeah. But yeah, but anyway, back to that guy is like, he thought they were Shermans, and then it's when they started getting closer, he noticed that they were the T-34, and he's like, great. He's like, his heart just sank. because
Yeah.
he knew it wasn't, because it wasn't, at that point, it was no longer just going to be a battle, it was going to be a reckoning
Yeah.
because of what they did to the Russians.
Yeah.
Not only did they betray them, but that then they also used scorched earth tactics, and they did terrible atrocities to their cities.
Right.
And now it was about revenge for the Russians. It wasn't just we're going to subdue you. It was no, we're going to annihilate you.
Yeah.
Which means they probably would have desecrated Hitler's body and done all kinds of crazy things and like strung it up and made it an example.
Right.
And I guarantee you Hitler didn't want that to happen to his to that. Now the whole Argentina thing, a lot of people say he did it because a lot of Nazis did go there.
Mm-hmm.
They did flee there. And it's just funny because whenever people try to do those conspiracy theories, is like, here's the thing. At that point, would it really matter if he survived?
Right.
It's like, does it really matter? He was in disgrace. There's nothing he could have done.
Yeah.
It's not like he created the Fourth Reich afterward.
Right.
The war's done. It's over.
Yeah.
We won.
And even if he survived, he's dead now.
Right.
And nothing came of it. Like, he spent his entire life in hiding. So
Right.
there's no winning on that
Yeah.
side.
It's like,
I just think it's funny because, like, even though that is true, I'm like, you have, first of all, so, like, the one good thing Hitler did when he was, like, the head of the NSDAP, and he was, like, pushing for the election, he made a pledge that, if he could not expand Germany's territory and everything came back to haunt him, he would shoot himself in the head if he failed. Well, he failed, and he followed through on that promise. So
Right.
it's like, probably the only good thing he did was, following through on the promise of killing himself if he failed.
imagine if Operation Valkyrie had succeeded.
Mhm.
That would have been great.
Was that the one on Russia? Or...
No, so Operation Valkyrie was the attempt on Hitler's life by his own people.
Oh yeah, I remember that because they put a bomb under the
Yep.
desk and
Yep.
it backfired. No pun intended.
Well, it didn't backfire.
It kind of
The-
did because they put it in a briefcase and they put the bomb right next to Hitler underneath the table because that's what he always did. But then he stepped out to take a phone call, and someone I guess accidentally kicked it. And so like, oh, okay, so he picked it up and moved it and stuck it underneath one of the legs, and the table he used had very thick
Yeah.
legs.
Well, the whole table was huge. It's like
Yeah.
stinking thing.
So-
So it was a war table.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it didn't really. That's not a backfire. That's just a mishap.
Yeah.
Backfiring was it if it blew up their car on the way there.
Yeah.
It's like, oops. No, that would be a backfire.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't anticipate someone moving it though, and so like it just killed a couple people, but Hitler survived. I think there was a few
Maybe-
other attempts on his life at one point.
You ever wonder maybe if that was maybe a providence that God made sure that happened so Germany could really be put to its knees
That could have been.
because of what they did to the Jews.
It could have been.
Like not necessarily a absolute like this is God's punishment necessarily, but just he already knew what would happen if Hitler didn't die,
Yeah.
and all he did was give it a nudge,
Mm-hmm.
be like, no,
Yeah. It's like, no, I got greater plans for your punishment.
right? It's like no.
I mean,
It's like good try, but this is mine.
yeah. It's like,
Vengeance is mine.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. You know me. I don't believe in like wholesale God using like disasters and things to punish people. But sometimes you wonder if he will provide some.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that we're, because of the new covenant, we're in that stage where like, especially how the world works today, we're at a place where God is like, if something's happening in a nation, he'll use like a massive storm to wipe out a nation. Because I remember when that hurricane was hitting California, and people were making the argument like this was God's divine judgment, and because of all the stuff that's going on in California, that is immoral. And of course, there's stuff here in Florida that's also immoral too. But California does take it to an extreme. And I don't see it as that way because I'm like, first of all, there are people in California who don't like that stuff in California
Right.
and vote against that stuff in California. So it's like you're punishing all the people who are actively opposing it in addition to punishing the ones who support it. So, but yeah, I don't believe in that, but I do think, but God does bring justice, and I do think He will bring it in very ironic and profound ways to make sure the point gets brought up. It's like kind of like there's consequences to your actions.
Yeah. Basically, it's more of a he basically lifts his hand and just lets it play out.
Yeah.
In
Or just if He's already working it against you and is not in your favor.
right, or he already knows what's going to be. Because all he has to do is, because he already knows who's going to be influential in certain situations, and he already knows, he can just play that. He just be like, hey, put this person in that power, put this person in this, and he knows exactly. Even if, because remember, it's not like we're not like pawns in chess, right? He's not like moving us around.
Right.
We still have the free will.
But if He already knows what you're going to do,
yeah,
He'll put you in the position to do it.
Yeah, he knows how to guide people, and he knows in all the different ways that people will move. So he knows, all right, if this person doesn't happen, and I know this one will, and this one won't, and this one will, right? So he already knows how all that's going to play out,
Right.
and he's able to guide people, speak to them, especially Christians.
Okay.
But he can harden or soften the hearts of even the evil ones, and then still say, "Oh, you want to do this? Fine,
Yeah.
do it."
It's like, you made your point clear. Yeah. I also do believe in that divine intervention type sense, where I do think at least for the Christians specifically, and those who believe in Jesus, God does. Sorry.
That was well brought up.
Hey, I muffled it.
Too bad you weren't.
I muffled it. Like,
It was a burp on silence.
it's like it was gonna come up. At least I did the polite thing.
Anyway,
But it's like I believe in that divine intervention sense, where like if you are a believer, there are some things that God just cuts off for you, just limits, because He knows like if you go down that path, it could tear you away from Him. So He's like, you know what? Then let's just block off that path. Like we just won't allow that because you are mine. And since you are my son, that's what a father does.
Yep.
You know, if dad sees child sticking fork in light socket, dad don't just go, should we really talk about this first, buddy?
Right.
No, like at least my dad did. My dad picked me up by the arm and whooped my butt and took the fork away and wouldn't give it back.
yeah, and of course you also have he works everything for good.
Yeah.
Especially for the believers.
Yeah. Especially for those who love Him.
Yep. So that is a privilege. But like in World War II, I do believe that there were a few times when there were actual divine interventions. One of them was in Battle of the Bulge. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the battle.
Not too.
So it was basically Germany's.
No.
It was basically Germany's final hurrah to try to destroy the Allies. It was their last ditch effort.
Right.
And it was a massive campaign through the Ardennes forest, going through to try to basically punched what was reason it was called Battle of the Bulge, because they punched a huge bulge into the lines. So they got really deep in there. Unfortunately, they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And if they had just had a little bit more gas, they probably would have destroyed the.
That was well brought up. Too bad you weren't.
I know, right? But it was one of those times where they almost won. They could have won the war if that thing had if it had worked. But they just weren't. They didn't have enough. They weren't able to keep up the momentum. They just couldn't do it.
Right.
But anyway, there's a moment in there where they needed clear weather because they weren't able to use, because the United States wasn't able to use their air superiority because the weather was garbage.
Right.
Because it was winter and it was just terrible, right? And they was like, man, we if we just had good weather, we could start destroying some of these tanks and stuff with these airplanes, right? And they were just sucking at life. So General Patton requested a chaplain to write up a letter, or not a letter, a prayer to be read for the weather to go back to get cleared up.
Right.
And of course the chaplain, he's like, I'm sure that's really a good thing to be praying for good weather so we can kill each other. He's like, well, just have it to me in the next couple hours. He's like, all right. So he got it, and he did the prayer and all that stuff. Very next day, perfect weather.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful weather. He's like, and I don't know, I can't remember if this is actually what happened, but I know in the movie Patton, he's like, this weather is perfect. It's like, go get me that chaplain. He stands good with God, and I want to decorate him. So yeah, that's actually one of my favorite war movies. Probably the best movie about a general ever made.
Yeah, I guess that's something we could talk about. Is like, is it in terms of the Christian faith, is taking another life acceptable under any circumstance?
Under any circumstance?
Any circumstance.
Well, yes. We see that even in the Bible. So.
Right. So like I'm in agreement with you, right?
Yeah.
But I see this trend a lot.
Well, I do know there's
and
the
I see it
pacifists.
Also, yeah. Well, I see it growing amongst Christians where they think this idea of Christianity means you become a pacifist.
Right.
And it's like you can't go to war, you can't fight anybody, right? And it's like I don't. That's not scriptural.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, how many people did David kill?
Right.
And yet the only time he was guilty of murder was with Uriah.
Right.
It's like.
Yeah, and I think this is what I think happens with some Christians. They think New Testament and Old Testament, hard separation, nothing related.
Right.
But here's the deal: God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Right. Jesus is God.
Yeah.
So even though Jesus is sitting there, he's telling us how to do this is the better way to live.
Right.
To love your enemies, to not do violence, things like that. These are the good things. These are the ideal conditions.
Right.
That does not mean you just stand there as a Christian. Like let's take it this way. I, as a Christian, it would be morally unacceptable to me, especially if I'm seeing like non-Christians getting slaughtered.
Right.
And I do nothing. Mm-hmm. I would consider that an immoral act on my part of not at least trying to stop it.
Right.
Even if it's at my death, whatever. The point is, I'm trying to stop the evil ones from doing evil things.
Right. So, like, example of that. Whether like, let's say you're just at the mall or something, you're in a public place, and you're sitting at the food court, right? And this actually, it's kind of based on a real event because this happened in Indiana. You're sitting at the food court. And someone comes out of the bathroom at the food court and starts shooting people, killing people, and you're armed, do you take that shot?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. The answer is obviously yes, because love your enemies, but remember the enemy kind of in this circumstance forfeited a lot of that human dignity and human treatment the moment he decided to start taking innocent lives.
Right.
And so it's like now he introduced violence. Now I have to meet violence with violence to eliminate the violence.
Right. And I think a lot of Christians, they get hung up with the idea
of like turning the other cheek and stuff like that.
Not just that, but
I hear that one a lot.
Yeah, you do. I do hear that a lot. But the one that I'm thinking of is more along the lines of that we're supposed to allow ourselves to die for the faith, right?
Right.
But that's martyrdom. That's a different.
That's a whole different.
That's a whole different category.
Right.
It's a reason for getting killed.
Yeah.
If I'm getting killed because someone has a gun to my head, basically, and says, "Will you renounce Jesus?"
Right.
And I say no, and he pulls the trigger, that's a martyrdom.
Right.
Just because it's like I am under no obligation to be a martyr if someone breaks into my home and tries to hurt my family.
Right.
It's like that is not a thing.
If I get home or walk out of the room or something, I see some dude on top of my wife, like, beating her, like, yeah, I'm gonna put my pistol to the back of his head. I'm gonna just end it.
Might want to put it to the side of the head. That way you don't have any.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, don't want to.
You don't want to kill your wife.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, like I'm taking that shot. Like I'm eliminating this dude because he's actively trying to kill my wife.
And that is not revenge.
No, it's
Because
protection.
that's another thing. Oh well, that's vengeance. It's like vengeance is my say. No. Vengeance is after the fact. Like after you, let's say you didn't kill him,
Right.
but you got him out of your house, or you were able to get him subdued. You decided not to kill him. For why, I don't know. But let's say you didn't do it, right? Let's say you wanted to be the bigger man. You subdued him. Be the
Notice the mocking tone. Want to be the bigger? I want to be the bigger man. That's why that dude's in the dirt and I'm not.
right. It's like I've always hated that term. It's like you have to be the bigger person's like that's not a thing. The bigger person is doing the right thing. The right thing is they end.
Yeah, the bigger person is like an argument, right?
Right.
If you and I got into an argument and neither one is budging, right? It's like, okay, I'll be the bigger person. I'll go apologize first, right?
Right.
Cause,
Which is biblical.
yeah, it's like we're friends, we're brothers. Like we just there's no point to having this. We need to bury this thing.
Yep.
So it's like if we're not going to budge, then we just have to agree to disagree, apologize for any offenses, and then let's just go back. Let's just go back to what we were.
Right.
You know, but like, yeah, like if you're trying to hurt somebody, let alone hurt somebody I care about, that's being the bigger person is not trying to reason with someone who can't be reasoned with. I think that's also a bigger problem, and I see this trending all throughout society, really, not just like in politics, but even in just regular everyday life. Everyone assumes that the other person can be reasoned with. No.
Yeah.
History, and even all the way up to the modern day, has proven there are people who they've made their decision, they've doubled and tripled down on it, and that's that. So now we're faced, like take Iran for example, the bombing of the nuclear facilities in Iran.
Yep.
They were committed to building a nuclear weapon.
Yep.
And we don't want them having a nuclear weapon because they'd probably be the most likely to use it in a preemptive attack. And so, like, everyone had this idea, like, oh, well, we'll reason with them and we'll make deals, and everything they've done leading up to that point was, like, they made it clear they don't want to.
Right.
It's like, they're lying to your face when they say that they do, and they don't want to.
Yeah.
So it's like, when it comes to that, it's like, okay, then you won't make a deal, now I got to put you in your place.
Yeah. I remember I got into an online argument. I get into these times where I'm like, it's like I'm like, oh, there'll be like 2 or 3 days in which I'm on a rampage.
Right.
And then I think about, like, what am I doing, man? Why am I on the internet?
It's like,
First off, the internet is a mistake. The second off, there's nothing really great that comes out of the internet, other than a whole bunch of lies and a whole bunch of...
I beg to differ. Amazon's pretty good.
Okay, Amazon can stay. Amazon can stay.
Yeah. Because I like being able to, hit order and it's at my house tomorrow.
This is true. So Amazon, you're cool. Whatever. Yeah. It's a little weird that you're sending rockets up in space, but
the rockets that are very phallically shaped.
they make you feel a certain way. It's like,
did you see that meme of like the monkeys talking and it's like, hey, did you hear they sent a big dick into space? And it's like, yeah, and the rocket looked like one too.
Yeah. But anyway,
I'm just kidding, Jeff Bezos. Maybe give us a sponsorship.
No. So anyway, I was talking to this guy on the internet. He was a pacifist, hard pacifist, Christian, allegedly. But apparently he had a page, like he had a Facebook page where all the other pacifists get to hang out and just talk about their pacifism and make fun of the people who are not pacifists.
There's a page for everything.
I know, right? It's the internet. So I went out there and I was just like, I started reading like their mind, just seeing what their mindset is, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so I went out there and I just asked a couple questions in the comments. I'm like, so should we not have ever entered World War II?
Right.
No one answers. No, no one answered not a single person answered. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I would just ask things like this, right? Because there are times when so for a pacifist, if you say, it's easy to say we shouldn't do these things.
Right.
right?
Just avoid all violence at all
Right.
costs.
It's just avoid it. It's easy to say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so easy when you're sitting there seeing your friends getting some of the worst atrocities happen to them
Right.
and not do anything.
Right.
Even the most pacifist person might start reconsidering
Yeah.
their
And
beliefs.
I feel like those people would probably quote Desmond Doss a lot in World War II. The thing is like, if they do, like, he had a part to play in World War II. He was a medic.
Mm-hmm.
And he saved other soldiers' lives so that either they returned home to their families or they got fixed up and went back to fighting.
Now, I do
So
want to
it's
say
like,
something about Desmond Doss. For a medic in the military, you are not required to carry a firearm.
Mhm.
That's the whole thing,
Right.
right? And one, it's probably better that you don't. That way you're not getting shot at.
Yeah. It depends on
there-
the front because I know in the European front, they agree to honor the code with like the
Well,
medics
yeah,
and stuff.
but the,
Japanese, like they're like, nope, everyone's fair game, and they started.
Well, right.
they'll
Well,
kill
I'm
everybody.
not talking about like the ideologies on the other side. I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
the point of not carrying a firearm is so that chance gets reduced.
Right.
Whether it happened or not, it's kind of irrelevant. It's more of the idea
Right.
behind what they would do, and because even in the modern age, I knew plenty of medics who didn't carry a firearm. It's just they didn't do it. Part of it was either their belief system or because that's just how they wanted to make sure they weren't a target,
Right.
essentially. Then you had other ones who did. It doesn't matter because
I actually knew one who did.
yeah. So it
He
doesn't.
was a medic in the army for
Yeah.
14 years.
Yeah. So you can carry one as a medic,
Right.
but you're not required to,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So
Yeah. This guy definitely did.
Yeah,
He was
so-
he was involved in Operation Desert Storm too.
oh wow. Yeah.
He's an older guy. He actually
Yeah.
finished out his military career being the personal nurse to George W. Bush.
Oh yeah. You
from
told me. You told me. About,
2004 to 2008.
yeah. You told me about that. I actually knew another guy in my unit who was from Desert Storm. He and I were two of the oldest people in my platoon. And he was like, of course, he was way older because,
He called you young whippersnapper.
yeah. But he was the only one who could. but even he was
He's the only one who earned the right.
yeah. But even he was like, how old are you? And I would tell him like, oh yeah, you're old. So if he says I'm old, because in the army, old is relative.
Yeah. Isn't it like if you're in your 20s, you're considered old? Because
So if you're in your 20s, like late 20s, you're pretty old. When you get in your 30s, which I was, you're ancient.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're basically there with a bunch of high schoolers.
essentially, yeah. Because I joined as right out of college, or right out of high school.
Yeah.
So I was like 19 when I first joined.
Right.
I remember there was a time when I was like 22, and I had a sergeant who was 21. So it was like I said, everyone's super young in the army.
Yeah. So we got little side trail, but that our mutual friend, right? And his buddy went into the army like in his 30s.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him being a private taking orders from like some 20-year-old?
I mean, that's what I had to do.
Right.
So-
I'm just saying that's kind of funny when you think about it.
Yeah, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
It is a little weird, but usually if they have the experience, they can. It's fine. You're fine with it.
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal.
I never.
The only times it becomes a problem is if the sergeant is very clearly only a sergeant because they wanted him to be, and he's a trash dude.
Right.
And then you're just like, okay, whatever. Now, what's really annoying is if, like for me, because I got out of the military and then went back in.
Right.
So when I was first in, I was in my 20s, right? During GWAT, all that stuff, right? So
Right.
I had the wartime experience.
Right.
Then when I came back in, wartime basically over. I was one of the few.
When did you first go back in? What was the year when you went back in?
2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah. So GWAT was over. No one was getting the GWAT ribbon anymore. So so whenever I would put my ribbons on, even though there weren't a whole lot of them, comparably to like some of the other guys, like sergeants and stuff,
Right.
they would see them, and you get all the younger soldiers like, "What is that? What is that?"
Right.
It's like, this is GWAT. This is,
Yeah.
you know. But the
They were like, it's like, oh, sacred dwarf,
right.
what is thy wisdom?
Yep.
For
Although
us
that time, like, you're not allowed to wear a beard, so I didn't look like a dwarf, really. I just looked like a short dude.
Yeah. It's like,
I was just a dude who was short. No, but the
you were a prepubescent dwarf.
yes, yeah. But anyway, he
And dwarfism, well, let me backtrack that. With dwarfhood, I'm not saying the disease dwarfism,
right,
but in dwarfhood, your manhood does not come through until your beard does.
right. Anyway, if you're a person who like me who was in before and then came back in, and I didn't have. They let me keep my rank, but they didn't let me keep my time in service, or excuse me, my time in rank.
Right.
So I had to basically reset how long I was a specialist for. So it was as if I had just became a specialist.
Right.
Back in when I came in. So I had to wait 18 months before I could be up for promotion.
Right.
So that time, although it wasn't too bad, because when everyone found out I was from that time frame, everyone was kind of cool with me.
Right.
So it wasn't too bad, especially since I was from that same unit.
Right.
It wasn't like I was going to a totally different. I ended up in the exact same unit I was when I got out.
Right. Didn't you also see someone that you knew there?
Oh, several people.
Yeah.
There was a couple people I still knew that. It was funny. It was actually funny. The first day I came back. Actually, so I arrived at Fort Sill, and when I had orders to have like a quote unquote leave time, right, to get my orders in affair,
Right.
or affairs and orders, before I had to officially sign in, right. So I was in Fort Sill for a couple weeks, and then my first day actually signing in and going to the unit.
Right.
I got to the unit, and it was funny because I was signing in, and an old buddy of mine walked in, and he's like, "Morse?" I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Hey, man." I was like, he's like, we hung out, and of course the guy with him was like confused what was going on, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "When did you get back in?" "Oh, just like today, basically." It's like, and so anyway, but it was funnier because another guy who I'd been talking to for a while, just kind of keeping up, and that's he's actually how I knew that unit was in Korea already. So I was like, "Oh well, I'm going to Korea," because someone is like, "Hey, do you know you're going to Korea?" I was like, "Yep, I know." And so anyway, he came in. He was a sergeant. I think at that time he was a staff sergeant by that time. But he came in. He's an older dude, right? But he and I are kind of cool with each other.
Right.
And so when he and I were together in GWAT time, we would always mess with each other, right? And because he and I were specialists at the same time, and then he became a sergeant, but he and I were always messing with each other. And we continued that throughout the whole years. We kept up with each other and all that. And then I told him, "Hey, I'm coming back in." He's like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Are you still at such and such unit?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, well, I'll see you when I get there." And then when I got there, I'm sitting in one of the conference rooms, and we're just chilling. And I'm specialist, so I'm hanging out with all the privates and all that stuff. We're waiting for the sergeants to come in to do whatever. I can't even remember what we're doing. And he walks in, and he looks at me. He's like, "Morse, you son of a!" He's like, I'm like, but what I do, of course, I'm messing with him, right?
Right.
I get up and I like do the most snappiest parade rest I can go. So I just like get it really right up, and he like comes up to me, like looks at me all close and like this, and like he's inspecting me and stuff.
Right.
And then we just laugh and start like hug each other and like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And all the privates were like, "What is happening?" It's like they were all confused.
I think that's probably going to be the best part for you in the military. With all your experience, you have to mess with all the other people who don't have the experience.
Oh yeah, it's like just teaching. Just like during GWAT, I was an armorer, that was my secondary duty, was as an armorer. And while I was there, I had to completely rewrite the SOP for the arms rooms.
Right.
Because that thing the one they had was garbage. It was terrible. It was missing important things in it, and all that kind of stuff. So I, as a little private, I had to figure out how to write an SOP, which is supposed to be a thing for the officers,
Right.
not me, not little private me,
Right.
right? So I had to do it. I had to rewrite it, do all the things, and it got to the point where the provost marshal, when they would do their inspection, they liked my SOP so much and liked my arms room so much that I was literally getting awards for it and stuff. So they liked it so much they were actually sending people to my arms room to be like, this is how we do things. And the SOP that I had, when I got back in, they were still using it.
Right.
It had, obviously, it had gone through a few changes, but all I had to do was go through and like, yep, that's what I put in there.
Right.
Because there was very specific things that I specifically put in.
Right.
That normally you wouldn't have in those, typically. So I was like, hey, and so they were still using my stuff when I got in, which was interesting.
Wasn't you rewriting the SOP how you got to tell an officer that was your kingdom?
Yes.
Or something like that?
Yes, I did.
Care to explain?
Yeah, so...
For the record, and again, this is non-veteran hearing it from veteran, but in the Army, telling off an officer is kind of a big...
Well, actually worse. It wasn't just an officer. It was actually a sergeant major.
Oh, that's probably worse then. Honestly, for an officer, that's probably the worst.
So technically, I told off both.
Okay.
Okay, this is how it went down. So I was an armor. It was during my time as an armor. And within at this point in time, maybe about a month earlier or so, the battalion commander was like, hey, all arms rooms need to require not just signing in, but also showing an ID,
Right.
their identification. It's like, okay, I mean, that's stupid, but I mean, they're literally signing their information right here.
Right.
But okay, whatever, right? So anyway, after we established that rule, it's a thing now. He and the battalion commander and the battalion sergeant major come down to do a quick inspection, and right before they're coming in, I was like, all right, cool, sir. I just need to see your ID. Because he was the one who gave the rule.
Was that the sergeant major?
No, well, both of them. They both had to show it to me.
Right.
But the battalion commander is the one who made the rule.
Right.
And now I'm asking the battalion commander to show me his ID. And he goes, I don't have it. It's in my computer still. I'm like, I need to get it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I have this card. It's like, that's not a government issue ID.
Right.
I need you to give me a government issue ID. Federal government, not
Right. Like the military ID?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, or it has to be a government, federal government identification. So,
Right.
Either that or a VA card, or not a VA card. There's another type of identification for that. Anyway, he has to produce something.
Right.
And
something to that standard.
Yeah.
It can't just be like your driver's license from California or something.
Right, to that proper standard. And so he had to go back up and go get it. So we're waiting for him, and Sergeant Major's sitting there waiting on him. Because Sergeant Major had his. Because he's an NCO.
Right.
Meets the standard, right?
Right.
Anyway, he's sitting there. Of course, we had this, the way the arms room was, it has this double gate, right? So you had the top half that would open and the bottom half that would open separately. So I would have the bottom half closed and just kind of lean up against it. So I'm sitting there like this, kind of like that, just chilling out. And he goes, so is there a reason why you're not at parade rest at me right now? I'm like, yeah, Sergeant Major, because down here I'm king. And he goes, okay. and of course, the thing is, the reason I said that now, after they left, I thought about it. I was like, nah, I probably shouldn't have said that. But nothing happened to me. So
you were probably, because wasn't there a reason that they didn't have to stand at parade arrest?
Yeah, so I had actually put inside the SOP that you do not, that armorers do not need to stand at parade rest or at detention within the footprint of the arms room.
Right.
And the reason for that is your job as an armorer is to protect the arms room.
Right.
All right, and you cannot protect it if you're locked up, essentially. You
Right.
know, if a sergeant major or whatever is forcing you to be at parade rest or attention, they could be there. This is wartime, so it's a different ballgame.
Right.
They could be doing something they're not supposed to be in the arms room, right? And you had to protect that.
Right.
At least that was the idea. So that was the whole reason for it. So it was in the SOP, and guess who signed that SOP? The battalion commander.
Right.
It's got his signature on it. He signed off on it.
Right.
So he was okay with it. Whether he read it or not is whatever. He should have read it. It's like it's right there in black and white.
I think he did read it because the fact that he accepted it, it's like,
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. The sergeant major didn't sign it, but the
well, I'm saying
yeah,
he probably
but yeah.
read the SOP though,
right.
because he kind of was like, oh, okay. Which you were probably one lucky SOB.
Yeah. No, dude. I was like I said when he left, I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But to be fair though, I was only like six at that time. I was only like 6 months away from getting out of the army.
Right.
So I was already thinking about leaving the army anyway. So I was like, I didn't
The
really
moment
care.
you walk out of the arms room, Sergeant Major's like, and Morse, guess whose kingdom you're in now?
Right? I'm like, it's like, hey, sergeant major, and go to parade. I'll go to parade rest. I don't care. It's like I'm like, it's not like I was a douche. It's like,
Now, the real important question for this Sergeant Major, was he Sam Elliott?
no,
Disappointment.
no.
If you guys, we
No,
were
actually,
soldiers.
I actually didn't really like this sergeant major. He wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So I've had some good sergeant majors, and I've had some trash sergeant majors. And same thing with the battalion commanders. Same thing with battery commanders. It kind of comes like every other one. Like, if you have a really good one, the next one's going to be trash.
Right.
It is a crapshoot on whether the next one's going to be a good one or a bad one. But usually you end up with like 2 or so bad ones, and then you end up with a really good one.
Right.
And it kind of goes like the cycle kind of goes like that. It's very rare to have like just always good ones.
Right.
The exception to that was when this last time that I was in my battery, I always seemed to have pretty good leadership in my battery level.
So what's the difference between battalion and battery?
So a battery is a smaller unit. It's an actual, it's like like a company level.
Okay.
So you have so the way it goes is brigade, battalion, battery, platoon, and then section,
Okay.
all the way down to like 3 people,
Right.
right? So you have like your section, which is like 3 people. Then your platoon is made up of multiple sections, you know, into like first platoon, second platoon, right? Or excuse me, section, platoons, which is your platoon is multiple sections, and then a battery is multiple platoons of whatever, right?
So are batteries and companies the same thing?
Sort of. So yes, at least as far as like their function.
Right.
Batteries are for artillery. Companies are pretty much everything else.
Oh, okay. Got it. So this was like specific to like artillery
Yeah,
itself.
and I think aviation does like squadrons, and
Okay.
things like that. So, but I'm not as familiar with that one as I am with batteries and companies. So infantry, like an infantry unit would have a company. Artillery has a battery.
Oh, okay. I see.
Which is kind of funny because when we were going through when I was going through the NCO Academy, and since we're on Fort Sill, the sergeants that were in charge of the academy, they would call battery attention, right? And it threw a whole bunch of the people who who are not from Fort Sill or who are from different unit, not artillery units, who were coming into that place. They're used to hearing company attention.
Right.
So when they heard battery, that confused them. It was like, what's a battery? It was like, this is,
They're like 9-volt or double A?
right? It's like, so, but, so I'll tell you right now, my group for the NCOs at the NCO Academy, because we're all broken up to, I think, 4 different platoons, essentially. But they're basically just classes, right?
Right.
Small groups of soon-to-be NCOs. And My group was definitely the obnoxious ones. We were definitely the ones everyone was like annoyed with because we were just loud and obnoxious and definitely motarded in many different ways and just exuberantly motivated for no apparent reason.
Right.
Right? It was just that was just the way we were, and most of us were almost all of us were artillery,
Right.
either artillery or ADA. That was like kind of the main group of us. There was only like one or two that were not that.
Right.
And so we were always just, oh man, it was so when we would do our own cadences when we would leave around, so we would go and leave, and we would always be like obnoxiously loud about it and everything. And we were the only ones who were. The other ones they would do it, but we were like stupid, like it was.
You guys enjoyed the attention.
Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that we were looking for attention. It was that we were just.
That's just how it was.
If we're gonna, it's like if we're gonna be here, we might as well have fun with it.
Right.
Kind of thing. That was kind of the mindset, right? It's like if we're gonna be here, doing all this garbage that we had to deal with the NCO Academy, you know, because it was long days at the NCO Academy. You only have one day a week to yourself, and that's Sunday.
Right.
And it's long days.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to, but we got to get through it, right?
Right.
So we might as well go ahead and just make the best of it, right?
Right.
That was the kind of our mindset. It came off as they're the douchebags kind of thing, right? But that was not really how we were. It was just loud and obnoxious.
Right.
It's like, but it made it fun for us. It's like, I don't care if it's fun for they think it's weird, but hey, we were the only group among the four or whatever that were all male. Everyone else had at least a couple females. We were the only one who was pure male. So the testosterone was just like through the roof. And we were all like, virtually all of us were combat arms.
Right.
So it was just like.
You guys are like peacocking with each other.
Pretty much.
Like, nobody's going to chant as loud as me. I'm going to chant loud. No, I'll chant louder
Pretty
than you.
much. That's how it was.
My cadence is better than yours.
Yeah, so we would just do all kinds of stuff. So, and of course I made Commandant's List and all that stuff for that one. Mm-hmm. And then, you know what sucked to that though? Okay, so here's my beef though. Mm-hmm. I did all that, so I was actually a walk-on into the thing. So, so there's the group of, so everyone, either you're sent, you're like you make points and whatever, and then you're actually on the list to go to the academy.
Right.
But there's like a whole group of them, of people who are trying to get in. So if they have extra slots, they'll call out people in order, right? And usually it's like by MLS and then person.
Right.
I was literally the last person they called to get in. So, and I was a walk-on.
Right.
So I almost didn't make it into the academy just because of that. Mm-hmm. So I got there, it was early in the morning. They called all the people who were supposed to be in there, and then they said, all right, we have, I think, like 5 slots or something like that. And then they started calling them down. I'm like, nope, that's not me. And then and then number 5, Morse. I'm like, holy crap, I'm going.
Right.
Going to the academy. All right, cool. So I went in and signed in and all that stuff. But the thing that annoyed me though was when you graduate, they have this like little program that they give everybody, right? It's a printed little program, and it has all the names of all the people who are graduating, and it has all the people who are like made Commandant's List and all that kind of stuff. My name wasn't on a single part of that. That thing. They just like, I'm sitting here graduating. Why aren't I on the thing?
Right.
So, and then because of that, so me and my platoon sergeant were actually going through the academy at the same time. My platoon sergeant was going to be going to the not ALC, the one out senior SLC, so senior leadership course. So he was trying to become he was going through to become a Sergeant First Class.
Right.
So, but we were there at the same time, and we were actually sitting next to each other at the graduation for Commandant's List.
Right.
Right, because he and I both made Commandant's List, and so the only so he knew I was on the commandant's list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we got back to the unit after all that, after the academy, we got back to the unit,
Mm-hmm.
and our battery commander was going to give him a coin
Mm-hmm.
for making commandant's list.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't know I made commandant's list because I was on the stinking program, and there's no,
Right.
it's like nobody knew I was there.
Right.
Except for my platoon sergeant. And so he goes, my platoon sergeant was like, hey sir, Morse also made commandant's list. And he's like, what, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, so I went over there, and it's on the little paper, my little final counseling for academy. I made commandant's list. I did all that stuff. And apparently I made not top, not very top, but second.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason I know that, because otherwise they don't tell you that,
Right.
really. At least I don't think. The only reason I know that is because when they were going, they're like 10 people
Mm-hmm.
that make the list, right? And they call out the names in order of their how high they are on the list. I was number 2.
Right.
So they called out the first one, who it was a female, but she was like a lawyer essentially.
Right.
She was one of JAG.
Right.
So it's like, obviously she's gonna make top because she's a brainiac.
Right.
And that's a very academic school.
Right.
So I was like, I expected that.
Mm-hmm.
But then they called me. I was like, okay, I'm not that smart. It's like, so how did I end up being second? It's like, I'm basically a knuckle dragger out here. I'm a stinking 13 Mike.
Right.
It's like I'm an artillery.
You probably looked at her like, ha! I was very close to you.
It's like, I almost got to you.
Yeah.
No,
What?
but actually
They're not coming.
now also to be fair though,
The heck was that?
she was also a,
Did you hear that?
yeah,
It's like, "Ah."
it's like, to be fair though, she was also a PT stud, so she was really good at,
Oh, yeah.
at physical fitness.
Right.
And I'm not just saying like female level, like she could beat a lot of guys too. She was
Right.
pretty hardcore on her physical fitness. So
Right.
so that was what. So I was like, okay, I'm not that great. I'm like stinking barely can run
Right.
at that time. I was like, my knees are all destroyed and all that. And she was like in her early 20s, so I was like,
Yeah.
can't really compete with that when it comes to physical fitness.
Right.
But yeah,
Not to mention that, like, you have to take twice as many steps as everyone else.
this is true. This is true. I discovered that very quickly at LandNav.
I'll be doing that behind you sometimes.
So
It'll be like letting you lead the way at like a theme park or something. I'll watch it. You're like, step, step. I'm like, step.
Right? Yeah, it's
But you remember that one dude though at ITSEC when we were leaving?
no. Oh yeah, that really tall dude.
Yeah, that dude. Even I, like, you gotta understand. I'm about 6 foot, and Devin is 5 foot, and there was this dude behind us, where even I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay." And I think,
Dude, yeah,
I
he
think
was
he
like-
was like Navy or something.
Air Force.
He was Air Force. Okay.
Yeah, he was an Air Force guy, and I was like, dude,
It was like,
can you give someone else so a little bit of that height? It's like
right?
you're taking all the height from everyone.
It's like that's how all the planes get up there. Dude picks them up, and,
Right? He just picks it up and
right? He just holds it up. And,
it's just all those dogfights. They're not actually flying. It's just him playing airplane.
right? This dude was probably at
tall.
least 8 feet tall.
Well,
Dude-
maybe not 8, but he was tall.
Oh, I think it was pretty good. I think because
He-
I'm
there-
about
there-
6 foot.
There's a maximum for military, so I don't.
He
I
might have
don't-
just been barely because like
yeah, he was also skinny, so that helped. That makes it look taller too.
yeah, because I mean he had a couple feet on me because I remember I was like it wasn't me just kind of like looking up. I was like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was probably 7 something.
yeah, he was probably just barely under the maximum.
He was the height cap
Yeah,
of whatever the Air Force was. He was tall.
yeah.
He was tall,
This dude was, and like,
but he was
I
also
mean,
very skinny. So it
yeah.
wasn't like he was tall and big. He was just
yeah,
straight line
yeah.
all the way up.
Yeah, this dude. I mean, like, I'm cracking the joke, right? Like, I'll be walking behind him, and I'll watch him take 2 steps when I make 1 stride. This dude, I would make like 4 steps, and this dude's like,
Right?
we were like, I don't know where you came from, but you walked here. I know that. It's like, bro could have come from, like, freaking Alaska, and he's here in, like, 5 steps.
So he got to his car in about 3 steps.
Yeah, this dude was... It's like, because we were talking on the way out, and I was giving him a ride back home, and so I see this dude coming, and I'm like, hey, this dude's got longer legs, let's let him pass. And our conversation, like, stopped. Just dead. We were like, dang, dude.
It's like, jeez.
It's like, if there's a battle on a mountain, send that dude up there because he's already used to thin air.
Right?
Like, this dude was huge.
How's the weather up there?
Yeah.
I know that's a stereo. I know tall people hate that, but you make fun of the short people, so I get to make fun of y'all.
And let's be honest, for that guy, it was probably kind of true.
He might actually have different weather up where how high he was. Like, if it rains, he is definitely the first to know.
It's like, dude treats Mount Everest like it's a mile walk.
Right?
This dude was, man. I never even spoke to this dude. I don't even know his name. I don't know what his voice sounds like. I don't know what he likes, but he left not much of an impression on me.
Tall.
Because I was like, wow. It's like, I didn't know y'all came in that size.
Right? Man. Good times, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I met a lot of tall people in the military, but no one that tall.
I think you meet everybody is tall.
Do what?
I think everybody you meet is considered tall.
Well, yeah, everything. Height is relative, but so when I think someone's tall, they're tall. It's like
he's like if your neck pops as you're looking them in the eye, that means they're tall.
It's like so. Here's the thing: when people used to try to make fun of me, but like, how does it feel when my kids are taller than you? I'm like, that doesn't impress me. They better be taller than me.
Right.
Otherwise, I feel sorry for your kids. Yeah. It's like, that's not impressive.
Right.
It's like, I'm literally only 5 foot. They should be 5'1" at least by now at this age.
So you're like, the average height of a man is 5'7".
Right. It's
So
like that's not impressive.
It's like, I'm below average in height, but above average where it counts.
That's right. My knees. What?
Ding, 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 ding. That's actually a joke I used to say about him. I was like, yeah, Devin used to be like, 6'8". Then he found a magic genie in a bottle, and his first wish was, I want my dick to hang between my knees.
Right.
So, what?
It's like it turned out it was a djinn, not a genie.
Yeah. It's like, your wish is my command. Like, dang it.
It's like every time I would, in the army, when I'd be scratching my ankle, and they'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, scratching my dick.
I'm like, yeah, it's like it comes out of the sock every once in a while. I just gotta tuck it back in.
Anyway, yeah, but yeah. That was more story time about me in the army.
I mean, I know you, I know a few other people. It's like, if the one thing the military will do, it'll give you stories.
Oh, it'll give me a lot of stories. A lot of stories. Sometimes
based on that face, probably
sometimes you don't want ones you don't really want, but yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was actually going to be talking about video games this time around.
Yeah. Well, you can still do that rant because I don't never played the game nor seen any movies about it. So.
Oh yeah, this.
I don't know why this is always such a realm of disappointment for you.
Okay, it's more.
It should be an assumption for you at this point.
So it's more shocking that you've never played the games or any of the games.
Mm-hmm. I liked Halo.
So it doesn't mean you can't play other ones.
But I couldn't because I was playing Halo.
But they've had like more recent games out of it. Tomb Raider. So the dude hasn't played Tomb Raider, hasn't watched any of the Tomb Raider movies. Technically, there's only one really good Tomb Raider movie. But there's multiple good games. Mm-hmm. But anyway, what I was going to be talking about was like, they recently announced the actress who's going to play her in a TV series. I have no real opinion on her.
Sydney Sweeney?
No.
Well, I thought you said it was Sydney Sweeney playing.
No. That's what. So it's a different. It's the person who plays Sansa in Game of Thrones.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones either. So.
Yeah, so that's not a big deal. But so it's this, I can't remember her name.
I could have sworn you mentioned Sydney Sweeney.
So that's where I'm getting at. That's where my rant comes from. So they showed the promotional image of her in the Lara Croft suit. And now, and then suddenly, like the day or two after, everyone's posting images of Sydney Sweeney as Lara Croft, and they're like, now hear me out. What if we have her play her instead? I'm like, no. She doesn't look anything like Lara Croft. She doesn't hold the same, like aura of like cool. Like there's a rule of cool when it comes to Lara Croft, right? And you have to look like you can actually fight dinosaurs and bad guys and stuff. By the way, she fights dinosaurs in those games.
Well, I may have just had a reason to play those games.
So I'm just saying.
I'm a bit of a dino geek, so.
Yeah, you, like in the first level, you have to fight a T-Rex. So
I thought Turok was a really good game.
Which one? The newest one, or?
Well, define newest. Unless they came out with another one. I think it's like
this one?
2000s. I know that.
That one?
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that one.
There's one game on Steam that I've put on my wish list. The only problem is it the game mechanics don't seem all that good right now. I forget the name of it too.
What is it?
I can't.
No, I mean like what is it? Like what type of game is it?
It's a maybe Tomb Raider-esque. Basically, like I guess you were just like private security or something from some guy on a yacht. Yacht gets capsized and now you're stranded on an island full of dinosaurs that evil people are trying to run experiments on. Now, granted, the game's not even in beta testing yet. Like it's not even.
It's a new game.
Yes, it's still in development. I got to play a little bit of it because they did a demo, so I got to play the demo. I actually left some notes on it. I actually took the survey and left a few notes on it.
You probably like the game Dino Crisis.
Probably.
It's an older game, but you might like. Or have you played any of the Carnivores games?
I played the mobile versions. I still have the mobile version.
Those are trash.
Well, it was what I had as a kid. Okay.
It's just funny hearing, I had the mobile version as a kid. I'm like, I had Snake as a teenager.
I reminded him of his age again.
Right, wait. So
he's like, oh, that kind of hurt.
So maybe I'll show it because I actually have them downloaded on my.
But on the mobile version, I did like those a lot.
Yeah, so the original Carnivores and Carnivores 2 were really good. They're really good hunting games in general, and you're hunting dinosaurs, so it's like the cool factor goes up.
Right.
The newest one they have is okay. I personally like the originals better, but the new one is okay. They did have a mishap with I think it's called Cityscape. But I guess they tried to do a sci-fi, almost like a Dino Crisis type thing. Total flop. I don't know why they even tried to do that. It's like Carnivores is a hunting game, not a sci-fi action game.
Yeah.
Don't try to be something you're not.
Yeah.
And they didn't even do it well. That was the problem. So it wasn't even good.
Yeah. I mean, I need something like. I mean, granted, I gotta play Turok again. I keep calling it Turok. It's Turok. But I gotta play Turok again. But I want something like, in terms of games, I want something like that.
But for like a sci-fi
dinosaur game? So like you're basically killing dinosaurs and you're also killing people, which is interesting. And like Turok had actually like a pretty decent plot. And so it's like you're trying to survive the dinosaurs, which is why you kill them, but your goal is to eliminate the enemy.
So I know.
Which, granted, it's been a long time since I played Turok. But
so I know dinosaurs. They're technically not actual dinosaurs. But have you played Horizon Zero Dawn?
That I have not.
That one's a pretty good one. They're cyborg dinosaur type creatures, but it's a pretty decent game as far as gameplay and all that stuff. This is one of those times when the people's claiming wokeness that I actually disagree with that side.
Right. Well, never mind. We can't talk politics on the show because I have a theory about that.
Well, that's not necessarily politics, but what's your theory?
So my theory is because the left shot themselves in the foot with that, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be a long time before, aside from already pre-established characters like Laura Croft, it's going to be a long time before you can make a female character for anything without people protesting it because the left shot themselves in the foot. Because instead of doing what any rational person would do, which is create like a whole new thing, whole new universe, whole new concept, whatever genre you want to be, and then just create a female character who's really good and really strong, like the chick from Alien, what's her name?
Ripley?
Yeah, Ripley, or again, like I mentioned, Laura Croft. Like there's a few others. Like there's plenty of strong female characters out there, but instead of like starting from scratch and creating this character, getting you emotionally attached to her, and like showing her struggle, her fight, and her persistence, and her perseverance, and all this stuff, it's like they either make a whole new female character, but she's good at everything because girl power, or they take a traditionally male character like James Bond and make them female, and then that's your character, right?
Yeah, they try to basically gender swap for the sake of gender swapping.
Yeah, and try to feminize it and everything too, and it's like no, James Bond is a man. He does very manly things. It's like even with like Doom, they made the Doom guy a woman in one of the movies. I think.
Wait, what? I don't.
There was like a Doom movie where it was like talking about it was a female character in a Doom movie.
So I know there was a female character in the Doom movie, but she wasn't the Doom guy.
Okay. There was one that I remember seeing the controversy where it was a Doom movie.
Yeah. Oh, well, I know which one you're talking about. It was the newest one, I think. It was straight to Netflix, I think.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I knew that was.
I didn't watch it. I saw portions of it. Unfortunately, the Doom movies have never been great.
Right.
So it's like, whatever.
But it's even worse if you feminize it like that.
Yeah.
Like
the thing is that one wasn't even that egregious. Mm-hmm. But I think because because Hollywood and the gaming industry and all of them have started to, or had a whole couple, like, decade and a half of just putting out games where they're forcing.
Right, they're cramming it down your throat.
They're basically forcing the ideas that they want in there. Or, well, one, their ideas suck in the first place. So their idea of an ideal female character has nothing to do with the hero's journey.
Right.
It has nothing to do with good storytelling. It's just that I'm girl, me woman, hear me roar.
Yeah.
And it's like
me woman means me good at everything.
Yeah, and I never get hurt.
Yeah.
I never make a mistake. Right?
That's kind of why Rey in Star Wars, Rey was such a trashy character.
Yeah.
Because she's a woman, she's automatically more in tune with the Force than Luke Skywalker, and then now she gets to do all this other stuff, and she just masters it like that.
And the funny thing is there was a couple times when she did do a mistake, until they said, "Oh, never mind, it wasn't actually." Like when she blew up what we thought she blew up Chewie by accident.
I kind of laughed at that part, to be honest. I was like, "You did that to yourself."
Right? I mean, but here's the thing: that could have been okay if he actually died.
Right.
They didn't let her do a bad thing.
No, it's like
so it's like
mistake, but no harm, no foul.
Right.
And so that's
basically okay. So that's another. That's the thing of a Mary Sue. You know what the term Mary Sue is. So a Mary Sue is basically Rey.
Right.
Where they're the most perfect character, and it could be. It's usually done with a female character, but it could be pretty much anything.
Yeah. There's something else who can be Mary Sue.
Yeah, but a Mary Sue is basically your antagonist is like perfect in practically every way, kind of thing, right? And they don't make mistakes. Or any kind of mistake they make has no actual lasting consequence. And so they're like this perfect archetype of they can do no wrong, kind of thing. So a Mary Sue, she would fall into the category of a Mary Sue,
right?
Because they never let her make a mistake.
Right.
Even her mistakes have no consequences.
Right.
So it was like, and then of course she would appropriate everything. So like you were talking about with the the perfect or good at it as pretty much immediately.
Right.
Like they made it to where she was such a Mary Sue that it literally broke lore
Right.
to make her a Jedi.
Yeah.
Like
And
it wasn't just her. Like if you see, like compare it to Luke, right? He first he doesn't know what the Force is at all.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't even know.
he doesn't even know he's in tune with it.
Yeah. He doesn't even know he's in tune with it. The first time he ever messes with it is with the little ball,
Mm-hmm.
little training ball with the lightsaber,
Right.
and that was and he fails, and then of course he does well. He gets it right,
Mm-hmm.
but that was as far as he got,
Right.
and then he was only able to barely in tune with the Force at the very end of the movie to help to really focus to get the torpedoes into the target.
Right.
That was the maximum amount of Force he knew how to do.
Right.
The second movie, he's starting to get a little better, but he's like just to grab the lightsaber from the snow, he was like having to like super concentrate, and
Right.
it took him forever, and he almost didn't make it.
Right.
And then he has to go meet Yoda to actually gain a little bit more and understand what to do with the Force and how to work with it. And he still can't control it. And
Right.
he completely fails when he fights
Darth
Darth
Vader.
Vader. So
And loses a hand.
and loses a hand.
So there's a
Oh
consequence.
yeah, by the way, Rey is not a Skywalker because she never lost a hand.
Yes.
That's a rite of passage. That is straight up a rite of passage for the Skywalkers.
Well, Leia never lost a hand either, though.
She was an Organa.
Yeah.
She got
Not a
adopted.
true
She got
Skywalker.
adopted. that like canceled it out.
I mean, like, think about it. If your dad lost all four limbs, you have to lose at least one in solidarity.
I think it's the dude thing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
Yeah.
she didn't lose it because she was a female.
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm gonna stick with Leia.
Organa.
Leia got it canceled out because of Organa.
Yeah.
She didn't even know she was a Skywalker.
Yeah, that's true.
Also-
She didn't even really know she was a Skywalker until the very end, after she French kissed Luke, basically.
To be fair, it wasn't a French kiss. There was no tongue.
That we could see anyways.
But
She got up in
Oh,
a little bit.
here-
Though. She was like hardcore.
here's another rant I have about Star Wars.
Mm.
I have an unhealthy relationship with Star Wars. Okay, I love Star Wars, but I also hate Star Wars.
Well, hopefully it gets better because Dave Filoni is now the president of the
man.
company.
Please.
Well, he's the co-president, but he's managing.
Well, he's
managing the creative
he's president. He still has title of president. The other person has title of co-president. So it's but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But he handles the creative side. She
Yeah.
handles more the business.
Right,
side.
exactly.
So
He's creative, and he's responsible for some of the best Star Wars there is. So
Clone Wars.
Clone
He
Wars.
was also apparently he helped with Avatar: The Last Airbender too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
so,
That was what got him the job with George Lucas.
Yeah, so like he's like I'm probably dreaming. I know I'm dreaming, but if actually I know I'm definitely dreaming because it's still owned by Disney. But if he could just decanonize 7 through 9,
Look, if Kathleen Kennedy can decanonize literally the entire EU, he can decanonize those.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
just decanonize.
It was those episodes 7 through 9 were a fever dream.
I want to see those 3 episodes get the pink slip. Like, we're gonna go a different direction.
Right.
It's like your services are no longer needed.
Right. But it'll never happen. But
I know.
if only.
Yeah,
Okay. So
your unhealthy relationship with Star Wars.
yeah. So I actually kind of lost my concentration. The whole thing with people talking about the prequels, because I've told Tony and all those kind of people, I am kind of a prequel apologist, right?
I like the prequels.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do, but the internet says otherwise, right? It's one of those things where you're supposed to hate the prequels for some odd reason,
Right. You're not a true fan unless you hate the prequels.
right? And the thing is, you hear the reasons for it, and it's always the same. It's always just like the same 5 to 10.
Right.
They're not. It's not unique.
Right.
They're always the same ones. I don't like sand. Okay, give me a more legitimate reason why you don't like it.
I mean, so it's like I don't like sand. I'll admit that's kind of a cringy line.
Yeah, but here's
that sounded like 14-year-old me trying to flirt, and that was very cringy flirting.
But
a good movie can have a bad line.
But here's the thing. Everyone talks about that, right? No one complains about 10 seconds earlier when Padme's talking about how much she loves water.
Yeah.
She literally says almost the exact same types of line, but about water.
Right.
No one mentions that. They only mention his awkward talking about sand, and it was supposed to be awkward. He's a awkward kid, essentially, still in his head. Only thing he knows is desert and Jedi Order.
Right.
That's all he knows. He's never talked to a girl other than Padme.
Right.
He's still figuring it out.
And there was also a bit of a gap between the times that they talked.
Correct.
Because he
10
had
years.
to go off and train.
Yeah, it was a 10-year gap.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so that's kind of my rant on that part. But the thing is, everyone always talks about, oh, the OT, the original trilogy is the best one thing. Is like it's so perfect. It's like, dude, they couldn't even keep continuity between the first and second one.
Right.
It's like all the things that you're talking about. Oh, they break continuity in the prequels. Dude, they were breaking continuity within 2 episodes, episode 4 and 5. And then especially 5 and 6. Because remember, Darth Vader was not supposed to be his father.
Right.
He was still trying to figure out who Darth Vader was. Mm-hmm. And at the time, when he made the first movie, Darth Vader actually did kill his real father.
Right.
That was the whole point. So they had to later retcon the whole thing of, well, according to a certain point of view, that's literally a line just to retcon what they messed up in the second one. Right. So it's not like so basically retconning is like the real tradition of Star Wars.
Right.
So, but to sit there and complain that retconning was made in the prequels, and that's bad, it's like, that's literally a tradition for Star Wars.
I feel like, because I kind of noticed this a while back, it's like, when I was like a kid, like whenever Star Wars adds more to its universe, it's like, I feel like sometimes, like, it started the universe and it created questions. So then it added more lore to the universe to answer those questions. But then in adding the more lore, it added more questions. So then it adds more lore to answer those questions, but then also leaves more questions unanswered. So that it just becomes this ever expanding thing.
Right. Which can be fine, which I don't mind.
For something like Star Wars, where it's like literally the entire universe.
Yeah. And then also another pet peeve of mine is when people bring up the midichlorians. And that, do you know why I have such an issue with it?
Why?
Because 9 times out of 10, when people mention the midichlorians, they're like,
oh, my mic went off. I think I died.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Yep.
Well, here, we'll hold this together. So.
Okay. You should have charged these before.
Yeah, I forgot to charge these. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So I'll just finish out this rant and we'll probably call it time.
Probably have to, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, the whole thing was the midichlorians. Everyone 9 times out of 10, people are sitting there like, oh, it's like he turned the Force into little microscopic things. Like, no, he didn't. The midichlorians are just in you, and they make you aware of the Force. The Force is still a separate thing.
Right.
But somehow they got it to where, the Force is the midichlorians. Yeah. And that's always the argument I hear. It's like, oh, he made the Force the midichlorians. It's like, no. He literally explains what the midichlorians are, and it's not the Force. So those are the kind of things that annoy me, is that people, they create these arguments against the prequels that are not legitimate.
Right.
But the internet is vast, so it becomes, everyone says it over and over and over, and now they believe it, and it's unlike the sequels who actually break lore.
Yeah. And then everyone who was a true fan was like, maybe I might have misjudged you a little bit. They look back at the prequels like,
Perhaps I was too harsh.
Right. It's like, okay. I overreacted. I'll admit.
All right. But anyway, that's my.
And
welcome to my Star Wars TED Talk.
Tar Talk.
Tar Talk.
It's just to also finish out, because I know this whole started like about the whole feminism thing. It's like that's also why, like, I mean, we covered a lot, but yeah, it's because of all the overpowered female characters. That's why it's going to be very hard for probably the next 10 years or so for anyone to create a female character, even though people like you and me will look and be like, okay, this one's actually like a decent female character.
Yeah.
Because you've been cramming it down people's throats for so long. Like, no, she's strong because she is a woman and that's how that works. And you have to believe it or you're just a sexist bigot and all this stuff.
The Force is female.
Yeah, there's that. So yeah, it's like, it's going to be a while because now whenever someone sees a female character, there's going to be that like knee-jerk react.
Yeah, that by default is like, are they doing it for real? Like, that is a really good character, or it's just they're just doing it because to check off a box.
Right.
And that's and right now it's the norm at the moment is checking off a box.
Right.
So everyone's gonna automatically assume that that's what they're doing, and it's gonna be hard for the people who are actually making good female characters to break through that new wall that's been built by the woke people.
Right.
So it's kind of sad.
I mean, it'll happen. It'll happen again.
And eventually.
But it's gonna take time because. Yeah. You know,
right now everyone's suspect.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
so
before this thing dies, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I don't even know how long this one was dead, so there might be a good bit of us not. Yeah. Hopefully, me just not being talking.
Hopefully this one picked it up.
Yeah. So, but thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and share the video. And if you have anything you want us to talk about on the show, just leave a comment and let us know. And if it's suitable to our standards, we will.
Yep.
But if it's not, we'll disregard it.
That's right. Mm-hmm. I have low standards, so I mean.
Yeah, you know what they say: low stature, low standards.
That's right. All right. So y'all have a good one.
Later, guys.
Laters.